Ever notice how some modern watches feel like they belong in a mid-century home? You know, sitting next to an Eames chair, a walnut sideboard, maybe a record player spinning Miles Davis. That's because the design language of the 1950s and 60s, the era of form follows function, didn't just shape architecture and furniture. It shaped the way watches looked, felt and behaved. And stick around, because at the end I'll show you two modern watches that absolutely nail that mid-century spirit. The mid-century modern era came out of a world rebuilding itself. After World War II, people were hungry for optimism, technology and good design for everyday life. Designers stripped away ornament and excess. The idea was that beauty should come naturally from how something works. Architect Le Corbusier famously called homes machines for living, which sounds a bit dystopian until you realise that what he meant was that our surroundings should serve us efficiently, like tools. Meanwhile, in California, Charles and Ray Eames were bending plywood and fiberglass into furniture that was sleek, comfortable and mass-producible. Across the Atlantic, designers like Eero Saarinen and Arne Jacobsen turned chairs into sculptures, but always guided by ergonomics and practicality. The world fell in love with honest materials, clean geometry, and the idea that good design was for everyone. That same philosophy crept onto our wrists. Before the 50s, watches were often ornate, fancy numerals, decorative dials, lots of gold. But post-war, design shifted towards functionality. Watchmakers started treating watches as precision instruments, tools to serve a purpose. Think of a mid-century living room. Balanced layout, simple shapes, nothing unnecessary. Now, picture that same logic on a watch dial. Legible hands, clear indices, perfect proportions. A Rolex Explorer and an Eames chair actually share the same design DNA. Simplicity born from utility. If Le Corbusier's buildings were machines for living, these were machines for timing. Rational, efficient and beautifully utilitarian. Let's look at some of the icons of this philosophy. The Omega Seamaster. Launched in 1948, it defined functional elegance. Clean dial, polished Dauphin hands, water resistance, but no unnecessary flash. Omega even tested them in aircraft pressure chambers because apparently everyday wear might include being strapped to the outside of a plane, maybe? Well, the Seamaster's symmetry and smooth curves mirrored modernist architecture. Steel frames, flat planes, honest materials. Next up, the Rolex Explorer. Born in 1953, worn on Everest by Hillary and Norgay. Probably. That famous 369 dial? Pure clarity. No clutter, no pretense, just perfect legibility. It's basically the Bauhaus of watches. Function distilled to its essence. Like an Eames lounge chair. Strong, simple, endlessly copied. And then Grand Seiko. In the 60s, Japan brought its own take on the same ideas. The Grand Seiko first, and later the 44GS, embodied the grammar of design. Razor-sharp lines, mirror polishing, light-catching angles. It's like if architect Tado Ando designed a watch. Minimalist, precise, quietly powerful. Every surface has a purpose, no detail, without reason. If you look closely, the relationship between architecture, furniture and watches is almost poetic. The Eames lounge chair curves for comfort, just as domed acrylic crystal does on a vintage Omega. Le Corbusier's Villa Savoye used pillars and horizontal lines to let structure define beauty, just like a Rolex oyster case, where the function is the design. Even Saarinen's tulip table, which eliminated what he called the slum of legs, mirrors the same clarity that stripped cluttered numerals from mid-century dials. Everywhere you look, the same message. If it doesn't make it work better, it doesn't belong there. And that philosophy is alive and well today. Take the Baltic MR01. It looks like it just walked out of 1960, with its slim profile, balanced sector dial and small seconds. But it's executed with modern precision. Sapphire crystal, reliable automatic movement, tasteful finishing. The proportions feel human, not oversized. It's elegant without being delicate. It's the kind of watch a mid-century architect would wear while sketching a building. Thoughtful, calm, exact. Then there's the Oris Diver 65, a revival of Oris's 1965 diver, but updated inside and out. Domed crystal, vintage lume, bold markers, yet nothing excessive. It's playful without being flashy. You could wear it to the beach or a design museum, and it would fit perfectly in both worlds. Both of these watches capture what made mid-century design timeless. Clarity, balance and purpose. They prove that form follows function. Isn't nostalgia. It's just good design logic. So, whether it's a chair, a building or a watch, mid-century modern design shows that beauty doesn't need to shout. It just needs to work beautifully. It's design that ages gracefully, like the Eames chair. Or hopefully me, although unlike me, it's made from moulded plywood. If you want to wear a bit of that philosophy, the Baltic MR01 and the Oris 65 are the perfect modern interpretations. Clean, balanced and timeless. Next time, we're heading into the 1970s, where modernism got bold, heavy and concrete. We're talking brutalism. And yes, there were watches that matched that tough, uncompromising look. So make sure you subscribe and remember, in good design, as in life, form always follows function.